Don't know that soda. But they got him in that place. You know, our group that we have that we go to lunch with, right? I couldn't stop laughing for like 10 minutes straight. So there's these guys from my neighborhood. Last name is Consalvo. Both brothers died by jumping off a roof. One got thrown off, the other one jumped. So there was a thing going around, they used to call them the flying Consalvos. So I mentioned it because I'm getting into the story about, you know, how they died and everything, because one of them was responsible for having a cousin of mine killed. And he goes like this, our friend goes, is that a circus act? Because I knew a Consalvo, Robert Consalvo out of Vegas. Dead serious. I bust out laughing. I go, no, these two brothers, one brother committed suicide, he jumped, and the other one I know only got thrown off a terrace. I think in Jersey.
I used to know the word. There's a word for getting thrown off at Festivus or something, and there's a term for being thrown out of a window.
I had a cousin who I never had the pleasure of knowing. His name was Anthony Peck, they called him. That was his nickname. Last name was Labella, okay? And he was my Aunt Antoinette's son. My Aunt Antoinette was sisters with my grandfather, Frankie, who was my father's father, okay? So he would have been my first cousin. So Peck was a real tough kid. Good-looking kid, tough kid. I think there was an incident one time where he got shot up. He survived. You know, really, he was an up-and-comer from the neighborhood. Rumor had, well, the story is that he went out with this girl. Her name was Anna Perone, okay? I don't even know if she was good-looking or what, but she was older than him. He wound up having an affair with her. She wouldn't leave him alone. I don't know if she was married at the time or she wasn't married, but she was involved with this guy, Carmine Consalvo. They call him Carmine Black. They had him killed. So this Anna Perone was asleep around. She slept with guy after guy after guy, but a lot of them were made guys.
Right.
My cousin wasn't. So I guess maybe he wanted to set an example or whatever the case was.
That's the rules, yeah.
I don't know the particulars of it, but from what I heard is that it wasn't a situation where he deserved to get killed. Like, in other words, if you go with a guy's wife, yeah, you should pay for that, okay? But I don't know the particulars to it. Like, I think technically she wasn't married. It was like a gray area.
Right.
Anyway, he gets set up, he gets killed. My cousin Peck gets killed. As the investigation was rolling through the street and everything, later on, he gets thrown off a roof, a terrace. This guy, Carmine Black, I'm talking about. So he was the brother of the other Consalvo who committed suicide. The other Consalvo was in the neighborhood, and he wanted to do a bid. He wanted to go to jail because he wanted to prove that he could do time or something. He wanted to experience going to jail. That's how stupid. Right? He goes in there. Rumor had it he got when he was in there. Comes out. Everybody's talking about how he got when he went to jail. So he was worried about everybody talking about him, that he was, gay or whatever the case was. And he went and jumped off the roof.
Oh, my gosh.
After one went off the roof and the other one gets thrown off a terrace, whatever, there was an ongoing joke like the Flying Consalvo brothers. The Consalvo that's left in my neighborhood is Louis Consalvo. They call him Louis Eggs, who was in the Cavalcante family. Mm-hmm. I've known Louis Eggs all my life. He's from the neighborhood. If Louis was coming up, you would never mark him to be a wise guy. Like, it came out of nowhere. Everybody was in shock. His brother-in-law, Philly Abramo, whom I think married Louis' sister, was a made guy with the Cavalcante family, and through him, he gets made. But, I'll give credit where credit's due. Louis did, get pinched. He did 15 years in jail. So if anybody was thinking, maybe he shouldn't be a wise guy, whatever the case is, the guy did his time, he came home, and he proved to everybody that, hey, I could handle this, right? He's one of those guys that as soon as he got his button, he changed. He got this air about him, went right to his head. And people from the neighborhood that knew him from the neighborhood looking at him like, this is a joke. I got along with him.
Good, yeah.
He was respectful to me. I got along with him. I didn't see that in him. Mm-hmm. I didn't see the difference. I just knew him as Louis Eggs, and that's it. And I had a couple of run-ins with the Cavalcantes. There was a cousin of mine being held hostage in a building, and Johnny Amato, who was the acting boss of the family, his nephew was downstairs with a bunch of kids with bats and everything to, I think, his grandson or something. The mother come running to me. I went there. I threw shots at everybody, got my cousin in the car, but the bullet grazed his head. Good thing it didn't hit him. You know, when he came to Lucchese's, they sent my cousin to talk to me. And my cousin Gregory Rego, he's with the Cavalcante too. And Gregory, I gotta say, I give credit again, credit due. I'm not saying it because he's my cousin, but he was a tough kid all his life. Like, you know, he'll fight, he's good with his hands, and he won't back down. And, you know, he's a solid, I want to say a standout tough guy from the neighborhood where he was like a wildcat, but a solid kid, you know, for the neighborhood growing up. Him too, he got pinched, went to jail, did 15 years, he come home. Now, his younger brother, Little Rego, I grew up with. We used to call him Little Man. You ever see those kids where they're the same age as you, like they're 11, 12 years old, but they're already built like they're 18 years old?
Oh, yeah.
This is this kid.
Yeah.
He was like a little man, tough kid with his hands, you know, just wrestle you, box, whatever the case is, you know. But, you know, he developed an addiction. You know, a lot of those kids were good kids and everything. They had their issues with drugs here and there. Yeah. He went off to the military, and till today, God bless him, you know, he's doing well. Louis Eggs is Louis Consalvo. He's related to the Consalvo brothers. So the flying Consalvos, they get killed. People did stories about them, these mob reporters they claim to be. But I know the intimate workings of it. You know, there's other stuff I can't talk about. They were directly involved, the older Consalvo was directly involved with killing my cousin. Whoever was out there at the time got justice for him. Let's just say that. Where I couldn't stop laughing was when our friend says, with a straight face, because I assumed, again, never assume, right? Yeah. I assumed he knew about it. He goes, "Oh, is that the circus act, from Vegas? You know, Robert Consalvo?" Yeah. I go, "No, these are two brothers that died, from heights, you know. Sometimes serious things you talk about, you make light of it, you know. The Cavalcante family, it's not a big family. You know, they got maybe, I would guess maybe 30 guys made. Then you got associates on top of that. But they would never...
Now, was that the family that they claim The Sopranos was modeled after?
Exactly right.
That's what I thought.
But the original guys that were there, the acting boss got killed. Well, you know, my buddy Carmine that I had on the show. I don't know if you've seen any episodes with Carmine. Carmine Capo, his brother was one of the guys who killed the acting boss because word got back that he was gay.
Oh, yeah, I remember this story.
And you know something, till today, we don't even know if he really was gay. The girl that he was going with came back and said it, and they believed it. So they banged him out. And then whatever else happened after that, then a bunch of guys flipped. Carmine's brother died since then in the program. He was in Texas. But I tell you, another guy, and God bless, he's doing good, is that Vinny Osha. You ever heard of him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that whole Jersey crew, right?
Yeah. So if Vinny's watching this, send my regards, and...
Defenestration.
Hope he's doing well.
Is the word for getting tossed out of the act of tossing someone or something out of a window or off a balcony is called defenestration. Defenestration. Defenestration.
I never heard that before.
There's an actual term for that. It's driving me nuts now. I couldn't remember it.
So people have to realize here that we have a lot of education at this table. You're a college graduate, right? Mm-hmm. What'd you major in?
Business admin. Then I got an MBA. Yeah. There you go.
MBA in business. I would say I got an MBA in business.
In life?
I did business. Yes, there's a lot of things we're bringing to the table here. We got all different aspects. There's a lot of lineage. There's a lot of knowledge, a lot of education, a lot of degrees, right? Whatever you want to call it. But if Vinny's watching this, we I send my regards, and if he reaches out, I can't talk to you right now because I'm on paper. But once I'm off paper, yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And they're gonna say, yeah, he flipped, he ratted, this, that. I don't care. Doesn't change you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't talk to, but I hear a lot of things on the street. Louis Eggs, I guess Philly Abramo retired, and Louis Eggs has got the spot. God bless,
Yeah, I want to know more, about the Profaci side of my family, because, the Bonanno side, of course, my father and grandfather, but my mother's uncle was Joe Profaci, who ran the Profaci family for years, and his brother, his right-hand consigliere, was Salvatore Profaci, so I'm actually named after, even though my dad's name is Salvatore, I was named after my mother's father, like I should have been, Salvatore Profaci, so there he is, Uncle Joe.
Yeah, but really, it's a Colombo family.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, so you know what how did it turn to be? Because really, your father, your grandfather, Bonanno, it's still Bonanno. Why didn't it stay Profaci?
Well, because Colombo was he was very he was what media friendly, I guess is the term you would use, right? He was in the spotlight and he changed it. He wanted it to be called Colombo. That's what I was, at least that's what I was always.
It should have been Profaci.
Should have stayed, but Colombo was he wanted it changed because he knew the value of the marketing. I guess I don't know why he did it.
Now, when you talk about
a narcissist,
when you talk about the Colombos, that's a whole nother. I mean, you get into Junior Persico.
Yeah.
You get into the wars that they had. I could tell you things about when I was on the street.
Well, with the gallows and all that.
No, that was way before my time.
Oh, okay.
Talk about
so this is after. Okay.
After, between Little Vic and Vic Arena and Junior Persico. That war. Back in the early 90s. Yeah, I had a lot of dealings with, Colombo guys on the street. But nothing compared to what your uncle, when your uncle had a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. It was just a different era.